It's the man YSN, and you're listening to YSN Radio. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all know what time it is, man. I'm rocking with the man YSN, and you're tuning in to the episode of YSN Radio, the coolest podcast in the South. Got a very special guest on the line with me right now, man, all the way from Canada, the Great North, man. He does hip hop, reggae, everything, man. It's pretty dope. Got the one and only Mr. Evrlove Blake on the line right now, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate you having me here.
It's no problem, man. Thank you for your time, man. How's your Thanksgiving, man? Do they celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada? They probably don't.
We already had that in October.
Gotcha. Is it called something different?
No, it's Thanksgiving too, bro. Same thing. Same thing.
Cool.
Day. Yeah.
So y'all are a month ahead of the curve.
Yeah, we already ate and everything, so we straight.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Well, let's take it back to the very beginning, brother. Talk about your come up, man. What part of Canada are you from, and how did that lead you into getting into music?
Yeah. Well, I'm from Western Canada. It's very diverse out here. There's lots of music out here, but I started doing music a few years ago, man, like a while ago. It's always been a part of my life. I've been, I started in poetry and stuff and just writing. I think we all kind of start there, you know what I mean? And it just transitioned into me getting behind a microphone and realizing that it was just a passion and a vibe for me. So I just been doing it since, and I don't plan on stopping. So
I can dig it, man. He said he doesn't plan on stopping. I like to hear that, man. So by listening to it, I hear a lot of different influences, man. R&B, reggae was pretty strong in there, hip hop, of course, man. So talk about your influences, man, and how do they all blend into the music?
yeah, well, I mean, I just love music, man. I love sound. So I listen to everything, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And I think being from Canada too, it's really like diverse. People come from all over the world to live here, just like anywhere else. But I mean, Canada is like a melting pot. So I mean, my influence, man, comes from so many different genres. It goes to Motown, it goes to reggae, it goes to hip hop, it goes to Afro beats. You kind of like name it, whatever I'm influenced and I feel good about that feels good. That's what I vibe. So
Right. I can dig it, man. I like how you said, excuse me, I like how you said Canada is a melting pot, man. When I went to South by Southwest, I met a lot of different international artists that came from Canada, and it was eye-opening to me, man, because I didn't realize just how diverse Canada was. I feel like here in America, we all have a preconceived notion that Canada is just white, just being real, man. So when I was meeting these people, these artists from Canada, man, they're from Senegal and Brazil and and all different countries, just happen to be stationed in Canada, man. I was like, wow, like this is crazy, man. So culturally, like what is your cultural background? You are in Canada, but where do your people come from?
Yeah, I'm Canadian Jamaican.
Awesome. That explains the reggae.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I grew up to it, so
Awesome, man. So have you ever been to Jamaica at all?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm planning to go back soon too. My dad wants to retire there, so I'm hoping he does. So I have like a little home there.
Awesome, man. That's pretty cool. I feel like people who are from like different countries, they're more well versed in just the world, America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never I'm planning on going to Puerto Rico for my birthday, but I've never left. Yeah, I've never left the country before, so I feel like you definitely got one leg up on me for sure on that one, man. Taking it back to the music, brother, man. So you said once you got started getting on the microphone, man, you realized that's something that you had a true passion for, man. What was the true turning point that showed you that this is something that you need to start taking seriously?
Yeah, well, geez. Honestly, man, like I'm just like one of those people, like I've an obsessive like personality. So when I'm into something, I'm focused, it's just go, 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 go. So for me, it was when I got started, I kind of like made that decision when I just felt it, man. I was kind of like, I gotta do that. The energy that music brings is just like the highest dopamine you ever could feel in your life, man. It's addictive. So like for me, it was like when I was on that stage and watching and going to shows specifically and then getting behind the mic and then, going through the whole process of making music, it was just a love, man, a challenge and a love. And that's what I think I just really got passionate about. And for me, it was just, yeah, it was just on go from there.
I can dig it, man. So, talk about the scene in Canada, man. So, are you do you identify as an Afrobeats artist, a rapper, R&B? Like exactly like what lane do you find yourself going through the most?
Yeah, honestly, that's like really tough. You know what I mean? I think that's been the challenge, especially like with the team and everything. And even my team, like prior to any releases or anything, it was just kind of like we never really put ourselves in a box when we were making music. You know what I mean? It was always
Mm,
just based off of feeling, energy in the room. And what we started creating was organic. It just started happening. So I feel like for me, it's like it's hard for me to label exactly what lane I'm in because I can do the hip hop stuff and I love it. Afrobeat vibes, like it's infectious, it hypnotizes me. Reggae is just, that lower vibrational tones and everything is just my vibe. So for me, man, like I don't know. I let the people decide at the end of the day. I just hope people mess with the music and it just keeps moving.
I can dig it, man. I can dig it, man. I feel like Afrobeats, especially right now, it's on top, man. And
Yeah.
some people will argue that it's taking over rap at the moment. You know, a lot of the
Hey,
big rappers are.
it's energy, man. That's what it is. It's like, music's frequency, man. It's tones and frequencies. It's a feeling. So people miss that point sometimes. So like when music becomes infectious like that, Afro beats it hypnotizes people. People want to get up and have a good time. People have been so like drawn in that like lower vibration of music for so long. You know what I mean? So when something came around that was bright and big, but it still like, gave them that thing they were looking for. I don't know, man. I feel like Afro and all those things, it's just having its moment, man. It's making its rounds with everybody because everyone's kind of shifting.
Exactly, man, and it makes you feel good. One thing about music,
Yeah,
man, if it makes you feel good, man, it's gonna win every single time, bro. And I feel like
I
that's
feel that.
definitely that explains the rise of Afro beats, man. Me personally, I've been getting into Amapiano a lot lately, which is
Yeah,
like,
I'm a piano. Yeah, yeah. That's
man,
big in my area right now. That's what everyone's on. I actually have a couple records on those type of vibes. I'm super excited to release.
man, that's right up my alley too, man. And it's such a huge scene right now, man.
Yeah,
Especially Amapiano because like the genre that subgenre is only like a couple years old, you know. So
yeah.
it's like you
But
got
you know what
artists.
though? Like you got to think about it though. Like that tone, I'm a piano stuff that's going on. Like the UK was doing stuff like that a long, long time ago. Like they were mashing up their beats and doing that crazy stuff a while ago. But I feel like now it's starting to catch the wave in North America, and people are kind of recreating it and making it something different. So that's what's really cool to see.
No, for sure. I feel like America's a lot of times it's behind on things like that. We're kind of like the last to get the trends, but
Yeah,
kind of blow it up in the sense of making it
yeah,
quote unquote mainstream, at least for us, at least, you know, because like I said, I just was just turned on to it within the last like few months to a year, you know,
mhm,
but I started doing some research and it's like you said, it's been around for years.
yeah.
You know, so I think it's definitely gonna take its time to get around to everyone, but it's
Yeah,
getting there. It's definitely getting there, man.
I
Who are
agree.
some of your favorite artists on the scene that you like to work with or that you would like to work with?
Oh man, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. I don't even know where to start with that. But I mean, like, if I was into get into those vibes or something like that, I'd love to be able to work like an artist like Rema or something like that would be a vibe, or like Burna Boy would be crazy. And the hip hop scene, like, there's so many artists, man. I can't even pinpoint that. You know what I mean? Like for me,
Right.
um, yeah, I'm not too sure, man. I haven't gave that too much thought. I think I'm just focused on trying to figure out my lane and my sound, and I think from there trying to collab with some artists and put myself out there. We'll see.
Not facts, man. I feel you, man. I feel you, man. So let's talk about the single man flex, brother. It's, how did that come together, man? I was listening to it, man. I was like, oh wow, this is the one right here, man. So yeah, man. So talk about that, man. How did that one come together?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that vibe, it was a real organic vibe. We were in the studio. I mean, the situation was, when you're in the studio playing beats and you're kind of like just getting situated and everything like that, setting the mood. That usually takes like an hour, 2 hours just to find something you really vibe with. And it was something that came up quick. It was like the second record that just started playing, and the hook was real organic. Like we just like honestly, I just went and put it down. And once we had the hook, I rolled with it. And for me, the record represented like me flexing because I took a hiatus from music just so I could build my catalog, get everything straight, my business straight, so I can actually make a push with what I'm doing. And once I had that hook, I really wanted to talk about like, you know what I mean? Like being able to flex like the grind, like what's behind the scenes. I wasn't talking about anything material in that record. I wasn't talking about nothing like that. I was really just talking about like the process of everything to get to this point for me.
I can dig it, man. And a lot of people, they try to skip over the grind era, and go
Yeah,
straight to the shine, man. You have to grind before you shine, man. Sound out your coffee on that one, man. You have to grind before you shine, brother. So talk
definitely.
about that hiatus, man. What were some things that you had to do to put those things together, man? You did a lot of meditation work,
Yeah.
a lot of exercising, you know what I'm saying? What went into getting that together in the grind?
Honestly, yeah, man. I put myself to school, honestly, like every day. I set a routine for myself and I was, doing the 4 a.m.s, 5 a.m.s, going to the gym, making sure I was consistently working on my physical and then working on my mental as well, reading, taking in audio books, really getting in tune with myself. I had to kind of face myself with a lot of different things that were going on. So I was searching for growth within myself because I knew if I could grow myself, everything else would follow. The financially would follow, the everything, the mentality, everything, the physical. They all kind of work in unison. You know what I mean? So for me, I really just went to work on myself, and I was just recording music. Went to work on myself, got everything straight in regards to like my business end and my music, because I was like, what am I really doing? Am I just putting out music to be cool in my area? Am I just putting out music to get these shows and that's it? Like, or am I building a business? Am I trying to do something out of here? So I had to situate that, and like I said, just really worked on myself. So I just put myself to school, man. That's it.
I can dig it, man. So when you say you took yourself to school, man, exactly what are some of the things that you feel like you took away from the most?
Yeah, yeah. Well, for me, man, you know what I learned, I always knew, but I always realized, grind beats everything, consistency and grind and being able to be open-minded and wanting to learn more. So for me, it was kind of like a situation where, I kind of had to put myself in a position to like mentally push myself through everything I knew I wanted to get through and really understand who I was and why I was doing anything I was doing. It was kind of like one of those moments, you know what I mean? So for me, I took away from it, man, in regards to just lots of discipline and energy, man. It's just I energize myself in a way that I feel like I can kind of do what I want to now. I can play chess now in a different way. A lot's changed, so.
I can dig it, man. You said the word a lot of energy, energy, which I like, man. Are you big into manifestation?
Oh hell yeah, that's my entire life, bro. My whole life is a risk, you know?
Right. Especially with music, man. I feel like music is a huge gamble, man.
Oh
So
yeah.
when it comes to manifestation and putting energy out in the world, man, how do you operate that?
Yeah, for me, man, honestly, it's just, when you're going through the motions, if you're putting in the work in something specific, you're not just going to let that go. You know what I mean? And you're going to appreciate that a lot differently when you've had to grind and crawl through the mud. We've all been there, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's affirmations, really being in a situation with myself and learning, man, just understanding that I'm a student to this life and I'm still learning myself and we all make mistakes and that's just where we're going from, right? So for me, it's just like honestly, like keeping myself in tune and holding my responsibility and self-improvement.
I can dig it, man, and I feel like that's really cool that you do that, man, because a lot of people lack that discipline, and not even just in music, just in life in general, and like without that, it's easy to become lost on your
Yeah.
journey to whatever you're trying to achieve, man. And like discipline is literally the blueprint and the structure to success. Without that, you can't get anywhere, bro. So
Nah.
when developing that discipline, man, what were some of the things you had to sacrifice to achieve these goals, man? Because nothing
Yeah.
comes without sacrifice, man. Nothing
Yeah.
comes without sacrifice, man. So what were some of the sacrifices that you had to make to achieve your goals in music?
Honestly, man, it's my time. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest one. Is really being able to put myself in a situation. So it's just long, early mornings, late nights, man. Because when you talk about music, it's music business. So it's like, I have to be able to run business and do business on my end. So I have to put myself in a position for that. So the grind, comes from you know, the records, making sure everything's straight, doing what I'm doing, to business. Like when I make, I got to make papers so I'm able to run my business effectively. So for me, it's just like, honestly, it was time. You lose a lot of things. You don't go to those parties, you know what I mean? Like you're not out, you're not moving around, you're not really outside. And that's kind of the sacrifice. And, you know, it gets a little hard sometimes because you got family, you got friends, you got partner, you know what I mean? You got specific things like that. But I mean, at the same time, when you have a plan and a vision and you believe in what you're doing, no matter what it is, you know, that sacrifice of time will come back to you tenfold. And that's the vision, right? So,
Right. I can dig it, man. And that's real. And that's
yeah,
real right there, man. I feel like Tom is definitely the biggest one because one, like in my personal opinion, Tom's the most valuable resource we have. You
it's the
know,
only one,
like,
man. If you
you
think
know,
about it, if you don't got time, you got nothing. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
You
So, I
know,
mean, that's it at the end of the day, is like, that's the one thing on this earth, you know, so cliche to say that, is just you don't get that shit back. It just doesn't come back. So wherever you're spending your time is the most important thing. And when people play with your time, that's very serious, you know?
indeed, man, indeed. A lot of people don't understand that because I feel like, you know, especially when you're young, you know,
Yeah.
it's so easy to get caught up in things that are fleeting, like
Yeah.
you know, relationships, money, you know what I mean, things like that, things that will come and go, you know what I mean. But like at the end
Yeah.
of the day, you know, once our youth fades, because youth is just as fleeting as anything else, you know,
Hmm.
and once that fades, a lot of people are forced to sit down and look at themselves in a pool of their own choices, you know? And
That's what happens, man. It catches up to you. It's about what you did 2 or 3 years before this very moment. And lots of people don't get that. They'll be, why am I struggling? Why is this happening? Why is this going on? It's because you didn't prepare yourself for this moment. You're not ready. You know what I mean?
right.
And that's the hardest thing for a lot of people to acknowledge.
Exactly, man. And that's the thing, brother. It's like I'm only 25 years old, you know, and to this day, like I still maintain a sense of consciousness about just how valuable it is to be 25, you know,
Yeah.
because like, all right, I'm because when I'm 35, 10 years from now, do
Yeah.
I want to look back and be like, damn, man, I wish when I had both? No, I want
Wish
to
I
be
would have grinded. I wish I would have done all those things I needed to do.
exactly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do I want to look back and be like, wow, I'm so glad I buckled down, you know, instead of doing whatever. I sat and did this interview with Evrlove today, that day when I was 25, because you know, now I'm 35 and I'm in Canada, you know, oh
Yeah.
no. You feel me?
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason, you feel me? And it's like, you know,
Everything.
like people don't think about that, you know, especially when they're young, because like I said, man, it's so easy to get distracted, it's so easy to get carried away in those things that are fleeting, man. That's why it's like I like to tell the young ones, man, I'm like, bro, you feel me? Time is your most valuable resource, and life is the summation of your own choices. Everything that you led you up to this day, and everything that will everything that happens in your future is a matter of how you use your time, man. And
Yeah. It's a game, man. It really is, bro. It's
it
a
is,
game.
man. It is, man. A game that comes with no manual, you know?
That's
Uh,
what it is, right? So,
the only manual is like other people. You can like watch and be like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. But for
yeah,
him, let me see.
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? We are the game and we are the manual at the same time, man.
You
Oh
got it.
man,
You got it.
that's real game right there. That's real game, no pun intended. So let's
Definitely.
talk about back to the music, man. So your song 528 Hertz sitting at almost 100K streams on Spotify, man. Talk about that record.
Yeah, that's a vibe. That record was just like, I honestly was putting something out because I needed to put something out first off. And it was kind of like a situation. That record was just real organic. Like I wasn't trying to make like a commercial record. I didn't put much promotion behind it, like crazy. Like in my head, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this out as like a love season, where I can just, you know, show different sides of like what I do and kind of give people an update on what I'm about and where I'm at.
Mhm.
And I put out that record because I didn't even put it on YouTube. I put it on Spotify and just on a video, the TV thing on Instagram, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Um, and people really messed with that record. You know what I mean? And it was just like it was meant to be kind of like a free verse, but I mean, it worked out.
Don't you love how that happens, man? The things that you don't really put much effort into, or like you said, you didn't do much promotion into blowing
Uh,
up to be huge. But the things that like you spend hours or days or weeks painstaking work into, it just like
hey,
oh,
that's real. That is real, you know?
that's just so crazy to me, man. So you said that you wanted to it was a love season record, man. Are you a big lover boy?
For me, well, I mean, love's the frequency, right? 528 hertz is the frequency of love, rebuilds, if you're like, it's a sound, right? So I actually have that tone playing in the whole record, behind the record, that frequency. But I mean, yeah, man, I'm just for me, it's like that's the goal, is to be able to open yourself up, be comfortable enough with yourself so you can love the world properly and the people around you. I feel like that should be everyone's motive being out here, because connection is the most important thing when you're out here. Like that's the only thing you're gonna remember and you keep with you, is that soul connection. So for love, like I mean, it's a very broad word, because it's what we all should be like aspiring to do and be, is to get better at loving the next person, or the people you care about.
Right, no, for sure, man. How do you feel like the new modern day love scene or state of relationships is affecting R&B music?
Um, man, like I don't know, man. It's crazy out here right now.
It is, man. It is.
But you know what though? Like I feel like people go through, like the world goes through shifts, right? I feel
Mhm.
like people really follow we call it trends. You know what I'm saying? Like where like, it's a different type of vibe, but it's a different energy. Like every kind of like shift has a different energy. And I feel like you were saying, you brought up I'm a piano. I feel like the shift for like higher frequency and like that good feeling music is starting to come back, because everyone was into like that op stuff. Everyone was into like that type of music for so long. Like that had a big era. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
And I feel like it's shifting now. People kind of just, it goes in the cycles, man. And I feel like right now, people are starting to wake up, that people want to like relate to the music more. You know what I mean? Like look at someone like Simple, like Drake's formula. You know what I mean? Like he's huge because he's relatable. Like people feel like it's your next door neighbor, and like he ain't like placing himself nowhere else. He's just like, I'm here. I'm just a real person, and this is what's happening. Name dropping people we don't even know. Like he's just talking. Like he's just letting you know what's going on, and that's what people want to feel, right? And it's okay to be vulnerable sometimes on music, because like, isn't music emotion and passion? So like, it's a vibe to be able to like experience that. When you're listening to an artist, I feel.
No, for sure, man, for sure, man. And I definitely think people are growing, because
Yeah.
like while you're like I was thinking, man, this is just a theory. This isn't
Yeah.
anything factual, but I feel like there was a reset in music in 2016, right, where it was taken over by young people.
Yeah.
And
100%.
the reason why we are experiencing a shift right now is because all those people are getting older.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, the people
Yeah.
the people that we were introduced to in 2016, Uzi, Savage, all those artists in 2016, man, they're
They're
not
all
making
shifting.
they're not making the kind of music they were 7, 8 years ago. You
Yeah,
know,
I also
they're
feel it shows
growing.
like the growth is, yeah, their growth as humans. You know what I mean? Like it shows like, like they're getting into different things, they're learning new things. They have mentors now, you know what I mean? So their
Mhm.
whole perspective on this life thing is like shifting. So the music isn't necessarily about that anymore. Now they're seeing it in a bigger picture in a different way, and it's curating through their music, right?
No, for sure, because I feel like the consumer is changing. Like you
Yeah.
said, we were stuck in that shoot 'em up bang bang era for a
Yeah.
very long time. But after a while, people would be like, I'm tired of hearing this shit. I know
Yeah.
me myself, I was like, damn,
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing this shit. You feel me?
There's a
What
time
the
and a place. There's a time and a place.
exactly? It's
You know what I'm
exactly
saying?
it's a time and a place, man. You feel me? Like if I'm in the gym or whatever,
Yeah.
yeah, turn it up. You feel me? But I don't want to be riding to work in the morning talking about killing my ops. No, I
That's
just
true,
started my
man.
day. It's way
Yeah.
too early to be killing
Yeah.
people. Jeez Louise, you know what I'm saying? But 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 that's real though. That's real though. The consumer
Yeah,
has grown. The consumer
yeah,
has definitely grown. The people who were who were introduced into mainstream music 7, 8 years
yeah,
ago. Like I'm speaking from a personal sense because I feel like when I was 18 years old, that's when the last major shift in music occurred. And now there's
yeah,
another one, and I can only attest it to the fact that consumers have grown. We're grown now. I'm not into the
yeah.
same thing I was when I was 17, 18 years old. A
No,
lot of the artists
yeah,
that were popular when I was 17, 18 years old aren't around anymore because I've grown out of them.
yeah,
Just like the rest of the consumers, you feel me? So when I attest to, like, as you were saying, man, everything is growing, everything is trending. It's all about
yeah,
energies change, you know.
definitely.
And I definitely feel like when it comes to R&B, of the as a genre, I feel like it's gone through so many changes over
Yeah,
the years because in the sense of love and
yeah.
relationships
Change too,
that
though.
it's changed. The market has
You got
changed.
social media now, man, on an all-time high. Everything's accessible. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Right.
crazy out here. So that's gonna reflect everywhere else too, right?
No, indeed, man, indeed. Because I remember I was reading something online, man. It was talking about how it had pictures of Omarion and Ray J singing and crying in the rain. It was like, oh, this is why R&B don't hit no more because niggas ain't crying in the rain like they used to. And it was like, all right, while that may be true,
Yeah.
look at the landscape of relationships right now. Is this crying in the rain material?
Yeah, nah.
Are any of these women around here worth crying in the rain for?
I feel like we still have like guys like Chris Brown still trying to keep that alive. And I mean, attest to him, he does an amazing job with it. He's like the prince of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah,
it wasn't for guys like him, it wouldn't really be alive at all. You know what I'm saying? So you are right though. Ain't no one really in the rain no more.
exactly. You feel me? But that's the thing, though. Like we have, like those days are long gone. You feel me? The crying, begging for your girl back. That's not happening anymore. But you feel me? I feel like now we have singers who, have amazing talent, make amazing
Yeah.
music that pertains to the modern day era of love. Like Brent Faiyaz.
Mm.
People say he's like Future, but singing, you know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
Ari Lennox and Summer Walker. You feel me? Like all these
Yeah,
different
she's
people,
crazy.
right? All these different people
Yeah.
talking about still making beautiful sounding music, but like
Yeah.
talking about love, but it's not love in
It's
the sense
different
of
now.
baby, please. No,
Yeah.
it's fuck these niggas or fuck these
You
girls.
better pay my
Like
bills. It's all in the Destiny Child vibe now.
exactly, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm listening. It's like I'm listening to Twitter.
Hmm. And that's the trends though, right? That's just what's going around. And I feel like that shows like, just where we're at as people, and the music just reflects everything. And I feel like with technology and the way people are living their lives and how things evolve so much, it's the music industry is the same thing, man. And it's just evolving and it's just showing that. It's like we're looking at a mirror, right, of what's happening, and people are just following that trend, man. I think they think that's always the answer, right?
No, for sure. Because that's the first thing that happens, man. You get cheated on, or whatever. You gonna put some music on. You feel me? You get
Yeah,
dressed to go to the club. You put on some music. You feel me?
yeah,
Like, oh, you happy? Put on some music. You sad? Put on some music. You know what I mean? There's
yeah,
definitely music for every occasion, every emotion, every feeling. And that's why it's always gonna be here to stay.
yeah. No, you're right. 100.
Thanks, man. So, talk about the future of Evrlove Blake, man. We got the single Flex out right now, man. Can we expect an EP, an album, a mixtape? What's the album if it was coming in the future?
Yeah, so we're gonna be pushing some more singles after this one, and just trying to, create that awareness of what's going on over here, and growing obviously the foundation. I'm hoping next year to be able to put together an EP. I'm sitting on lots of records right now, a lot of different work. So, I'm eager to share it all, but at the same time, it's got to be strategically done, in a way that kind of allows me to position myself. So,
No, facts, man. Facts, man. It's all about proper planning for sure, for
yeah.
sure. So, if you had to explain or describe yourself in 3 words to someone who was not familiar with Ever Love Blake, you only had 3 words to describe yourself, man. What 3 words would you use?
Oh man. Persistent, high energy,
That's two, but
and aware.
I like that. I like that. That's
Yes.
4 words, but hey, for the sake of we're gonna hyphenate that second one. All right. I dig it, man. I can dig it, man. That's what's up, though, man. So, boom, man. So, why don't you tell the people exactly where they can find your music if they want to follow you on social media? Let them know.
Yeah. You follow me at Evrlove Blake, EVRLOVE BLAKE on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Show some love. Go check out the record. Put it in your playlist. So.
Boom. That's what I like to hear, man. Hey, Blake, bro, I really appreciate your time, man. Like I said, Flex is doing crazy right now. Can't wait to hear the other music you got
Appreciate
coming out
you.
in the future, man. Keep putting on. Maybe I can get up there one day and kick it with you, man. See how
Hey,
y'all getting
I'm
down.
here, bro. You're welcome. You know what I'm saying? Just link me.
Hey, I'ma holla at you, bro. Real shit, man. Like I said, bro, I appreciate your time once again. Make sure y'all tap in with Evrlove Blake. It's been another episode of the coolest podcast in the South, YSN Radio. Check us out on all streaming platforms. Anywhere you get your podcast from, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, iHeart. We are there. Check out the website, ysnradio.com. Grab yourself a t-shirt. Also, vote for us. We've been nominated Podcast of the Year with the Southern Entertainment Awards. We would love to bring home the hardware this year, man. That's enough of my self plugs. Make sure y'all check out Evrlove Blake. He's definitely going up. Until next time, same place. It's the coolest podcast in the South, YSN Radio. Let's go.